there's one practice called Ecdysis, and most people don't even know what it means, but it's probably the most valuable thing that you can do for you and your agency, right? So if you want to hit 10K per month, 100K per month, whatever your goal is, it's not about hitting the goal. It's about becoming the person that can hit that goal, and as a byproduct of becoming the person, you'll just end up hitting the goal naturally, right? So if you don't know who I am, I'm Matt. I built an agency, and now I'm building a coaching business, basically teaching people what I did with my agency and still do with a coaching business. And all we really do is help early stage agency owners hit 10K per month. So getting back to Ecdysis, what it really means, like the definition is shredding skin. So you know when like a tarantula or a snake like that, they have like their exoskeleton and they shred it and they come out of that skin as like a new spider. Obviously not a new spider, but you know what I mean. We're doing the same thing, but just obviously not physically, right? So what that means is maybe you're letting go of old friends and coming into a new social circle, and maybe you're stopping old habits and starting new habits, right? It's really just kind of like a massive change in who you are. So I have an actionable step I want you to do right now, and this is going to be really cool because you can kind of choose who you want to be. That's the cool thing with this, right? Once you understand that you can kind of become anybody you want to, and that you're malleable and you can shift into somebody, you can literally just list the traits and beliefs that you want you to have. Obviously, you can't be extreme. You can't say like, I want to be 6'6" and 240 pounds, and obviously not, right? But you can literally list the traits and beliefs that you want, like the future you to have, and then like go through Ecdysis and become that person, right? So what I want you to do is just take any subject, right? Any subject that's related to your aim. So maybe it's cold calling, maybe it's service delivery, maybe it's whatever it is, right? So let's say you pick cold calling. So what I want you to do is get a piece of paper and divide it into like quarters, like this, right? And then on the top left, write current, and on the top right, write desired, okay? So now in the top left section, we have current, and then I want you to put current beliefs under that, right? So top left is current beliefs, and then I want you to make bottom left current traits, and then same thing on the right. The right side is desired beliefs and desired traits, right? So this is all in relation to whatever you picked. So for example, we're going to use cold calling, right? So right now, write down what are your current beliefs around cold calling. Maybe you're scared of them. Maybe you think they don't work. Maybe they think that like your niche doesn't like them. What beliefs do you currently have about cold calling, right? Don't try and make it look good. Like just honestly, just tell write on paper. No, it's not like anybody else is gonna see this, right? Just write down on the paper what your genuine beliefs are, and if they're negative, that's completely okay, right? So write down what are your current beliefs, and then write down your current traits in regards to cold calling. So are you good at cold calling? Do you have good verbal dexterity? Are you skilled over the phone? Like, do you believe in yourself? What are your current traits in regards to cold calling, right? So write down at least 5 beliefs and at least 5 traits that you have in regards to whatever subject that you picked, right? And then once you've done that, this is the cool thing. So what I want you to do is now in the desired beliefs and desired traits, for all the negative beliefs and traits that you wrote, you can just write the opposite thing, right? So if your current belief is that cold calling is scary, you can just write as the desired belief that you want to have, because obviously you don't want to have this belief, right? The desired belief that you'd want to have is that cold calling is fun and enjoyable and relaxing, right? Maybe you wrote a current trait that you stutter a lot and you have no verbal dexterity, right? You can write as a desired trait that you speak very fluently over the phone and you're great at talking to people, right? And then this is the cool thing, right? So once we have this current and desired, all we need to do, and I say all we need to do, this is obviously the hard part, is become that person. All we need to do is like stop being this current stuff and become that desired person, right? But like, how do we actually do that? The way that we do it is through both action and affirmation. Now, obviously, affirmation is like super kind of like, wishy-washy, and obviously it doesn't work fully, and it only works properly when you actually are taking the right actions. So first of all, we'll go over the actions that you need to take. So I've got 3 written out right here. The first thing that I want you to use is Sam Robinson's warm up, right? So in Instagram DMs, maybe I might make a school post about this. So if you're in the community, just comment on the school post or DM me in the school, wherever you want to find me. Just DM me or comment under any post, Ecdysis, and I'll send you a kind of collection of resources that I'm going to go over right now, okay? So first one is Sam Robinson's warm up, as I just said. So what that is basically a planning tool. So with the warm-up, you can plan your year, you can plan your quarter, you can plan your week, you can plan your day. Like you can plan all the way from the macro level of what your big tasks are this year to the micro level of what are the tasks that you're going to do today, right? So very important stuff is to actually kind kind of get in the routine of using the warm up, I can definitely tell you when I'm at my best is when I'm tracking what I'm doing the most and I'm using the warm up the most, and when I'm at my worst is when I'm using the warm up the least. Right? There's like a direct correlation there, right? So that's the number one thing. Start and get in the habit of using the warm up to actually track what you're doing properly. And then number two, we have have a strict routine and follow it, right? So what you want to do is make a routine for Monday to Sunday, right? So what I would do is like, it's honestly fine. I think it's fine at least if you want to take this every second or every third Sunday off. But for the majority of the time, you want to just be working, right? So if you don't have like school or like maybe work, whatever it is, ideally you can make a routine that you follow every single day. Now obviously that's not going to happen. Like for me, like I have jiu-jitsu on some days of the week and some days of the week I don't. So every day is going to be a little bit different, and especially if you have school or work, then obviously every day is going to be pretty different. But like still stick to basically the same routine. So maybe you have to make a routine for the entire week, not just a single day that you can copy, right? Make a routine for the entire week and stick to it. And then number 3, which is actually one that I just kind of stumbled upon, and it's honestly my favorite one. It's called the 100 units of time protocol. So I had to cut about 2 minutes ago because I got like a notification on my phone, and that was from a timer that goes off every 30 minutes, right? So I have like an alarm for 8, 8:30, 9, 9:30, 10, 10:30, 11, 11:30, 12, all the way to when I sleep, right? So that alarm actually just didn't interrupt me while I was recording, but what that is the 100 units of time protocol. So what I want you to do is set an alarm in 30-minute intervals from when you're awake to when you're asleep, right? And then every 30 minutes, track what you were doing. And then you can kind of put it into a spreadsheet and you can track what you're doing, and then you can label it as productive or unproductive. And it's scary, you'll see how unproductive you're probably wasting 60% of your time, right? In which you could be doing other, like, in which like maybe you scroll on TikTok for 2 hours. And in that time, you could have done needle movement work, but you didn't, right? So it's going to be very scary to kind of see how much time you're actually wasting. So what I would do if I were you is do this, if you're doing an Ecdysis for 90 days, what I would do is do this for the first week of every month. So if you start this on the 1st of January, then week 1 of January, you do this. And then week 1 of February, you do this. And week 1 of March, you do this, right? It's like a week-long protocol. And you can track, like, in percentage. So let's say, I don't know how many boxes there'll be, but let's say over the 7 days, there's going to be like 160 boxes. Then you can just kind of see how many are productive, how many are unproductive, then you can kind of put that into a percentage, and you can see overall how much in percent productive have you been over the past week. But it's also probably going to be a good idea to kind of do affirmation stuff as well. Now, honestly, I'm no expert at affirmations. I don't really know exactly how they work. The main things that I know is that when you are doing them, you can't just kind of say them. You need to say them and then kind of experience the thought and then experience an emotion regarding it, right? So if I say that my product is the best on the market as an affirmation, I can't just say my product is the best on the market. I have to say it, and I have to I think a thought about it. So maybe I'm like visualizing people leaving a bunch of reviews on my product, and I have to feel the emotion. So maybe I'll say like my product is the best on my product is the best on the market. Then I have the visualization, and then I say this makes me feel very happy, right? That's how you kind of do it properly. But that's entirely meaningless if you are doing the actions as well. All that's going to do when you're doing those affirmations is propel you to do those actions. Because when you're affirming that I am the type of person, then it's going to be in line with the type of person that you are to do the actions that we talked about before, and stay disciplined and stay on your routine, do the 100 units of time and be productive, right? So affirmations really are a helping hand towards the actions. But obviously without the actions, doing the affirmations just means nothing. So we went over the current and desired beliefs and traits that you need to have, and we went over the actions and affirmations that you should be using, right? So obviously the specific affirmations should be up to you. I'm not going to tell you them because then they won't work as well. The ones that you want to make, you can make, right? So the third thing is you need to shed the skin of the old person, right? So you've already done this in terms of the beliefs and the traits around whatever subject is most important to you. But you also need to do this in your environment, right? So that means if your room is messy, you should be cleaning it. If that means if you have if what you want to be focusing on is your health thing, that means if you want to be focusing on your health and your diet in this Ecdysis period, you need to be throwing away all the bad foods that you have, right? That means if you want to be focusing on like some really important work tasks and your friends aren't really in the same like paradigm as you and they don't really care, it's honestly a good idea to like kind of move on, right? So a good video that I would recommend you watch, specifically to do with like friends and like seeing if your friends are really your friends, or if they're just like, you know, they're just, you're only friends with them because you're next to them, is they're not your friends. It's like on like Hum's the Second channel or something. I'll go watch that, right? It's a very valuable video. So it's probably been a bit of a shorter one, and honestly it's because it is that simple, right? Ecdysis, all it is shredding skin and becoming a new person, right? So you have your current beliefs and traits, you have your desired beliefs and traits. If you don't do that right now, you know what Ecdysis is and you know how to do it. You gotta go through the actions and the affirmations to kind of help you, and then also shred the skin of your environment, right? So if this has been valuable, obviously please still leave yourself, like, comment, subscribe. And if you are an early stage agency owner, meaning you're making between 0 and 5K per month, there is a link in the description for you specifically. Obviously no pressure, but if you want to click it, it's there. One last thing, if you've made it to the end of this video, that shows that you have a top 1% attention span, right? This video is like what, like 8-9 minutes, however long it is. That means that, like, you know, you compared to your competitors who are doom scrolling on TikTok for 8 hours a day, you already have upper hand. So you're already doing the right thing, right? So good job. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.